Thanks for checking out this Virtuous demo for fundraisers. In this demo, we're going to focus on a day in the life of a typical donor development rep. The Virtuous platform is designed to give fundraisers deep personal insights into donors using their relationships, social media feeds, geolocation, past giving, all sorts of data, and we'll see some of those relationship building features as we move through the demo. But for most donor development reps, their day will start on their dashboard, probably after a nice cup of coffee. Here you can see I've got some widgets that I've selected near the top of the screen to keep an eye on recent gifts from my list of donors. I've got my Giving by Channel widget to see which channels have been most successful in raising funds. And I'm keeping an eye down here on a project that I'm working on with my Project Success widget. Each user is able to customize their dashboard and view the widgets that matter most to them. Now also in the upper right, I've got a list of reports that I can run. And I've got a list of my favorite queries selected, so I can run them at any time. Here, for example, I've been keeping an eye on my new arts donors last month. Now, scrolling further down the page, you can see we've got my list of tasks here on the left, and these tasks may be tasks I've created for myself. They may have been assigned to me by other users, or they may have been generated by the system because I've got some automation firing tasks off for me. On the right, I'm keeping an eye on the activity of some of my key contacts by following them so that I see a constant feed of what's going on. Now, even further down, we get to the best calls list. And here on the best calls list, Virtuous is using some predictive analytics and lead scoring to really help you inspire generosity and bubble up those people that you should be talking to, even if you didn't know it. Each of the givers is going to be scored, given a financial score according to their giving, and a social score, so that you know who those prime givers are and you know who some of the key influencers might be in your database. Now, we've heard from a number of donor development reps who have had a significant increase in giving, really attributed to this particular feature. Now, here on the left-hand side, you can see we've got our icons. That's our menu of other areas of the tool. And in particular, I'm going to go ahead and go to the gifts page. As a donor rep, I'm going to start here and do a quick filter for a recent campaign that I've run, because I want to see if anyone's given recently. And I might want to look for gifts over a certain size. And right away on that list, I see one of my longtime contacts has made a gift. So I'm going to go ahead and reach out and say thank you. But first, I'm going to go ahead and view their profile. And when viewing their profile, I'm able to see some information on their giving history. I can see some information on the size of their network, the relationships that they have, and even the value of their network. I can also swap out any of these widgets in the header. So just like on my dashboard, I can see the data that's most relevant to me. And over on the right, you can see we've got some of those financial and social scores baked into each profile. And we're also using some of those predictive analytics to bring up the next gift ask. Here we've suggested a financial ask. Now further on down the page, on the left-hand side, I've got my list of tags. And these tags are a great way to identify different groups within the database, to track communication preferences and anything else that I might want to track. So I can see some interest that they have here, and I can see that they subscribe to our newsletter. And right underneath of that, I can see some relationships that we have entered here for them. So I can see we've got an employer and a friend, one of their adult children, and I can link to any of those contacts as well. Now, down at the bottom of the record, I can see a little map. We've got some geolocation for everyone's address, and I can also see some other givers that live nearby. So if I'm curious, if I wanted to see if they wanted to host maybe a small cultivation event, I can see some of these other folks that live in the area and see if they might be worth inviting. Now, before I make a call, I of course want to check out the recent activity for these folks. So here in my communication history, I can see any notes that have been added. I can see any gifts. I can see any emails or mailers that have been sent out and responses to those. And right up at the top of the screen, I do have a big red box that tells me there's an important note here. And in particular, it looks like their daughter just got married. So I want to make sure that if I do pick up the phone and talk to Harry and Sally, I remember to ask about that. Now, if I want to see the latest and what's going on, I can also go right up here to Harry's name, and I can click on the little Twitter icon to see what's in his Twitter feed. Looks like he's a fan of Virtuous. And that's part of the deeper integration that Virtuous has with social media. Now, you may not have social media handles for a lot of the folks in your database. And if you don't, that's absolutely fine. You can actually use the Social Insights tab to go out and find that kind of information. Here, you can use the information you might have, like an email address, to go out and search a huge database with over 200 different social platforms and about 2 billion people. Here we're going to use an email address that happens to be related to Gabe Cooper. If any of you don't know who Gabe Cooper is, he happens to be the founder of Virtuous CRM. And here we can see we've gotten a series of different social handles back from different social media sites. We've also found a few photos and images. Maybe we want to use one of those in his profile. And further down, we can get some demographic information and some professional information, and even links to any associated websites for him. Now, typically, I'd also want to check out the Giving tab and see information on all of the recent gifts from Harry and Sally, including any pledges they might have, any gift asks I might have open. But right now, I just want to reach out to them and check in. Now, I know that I don't have time to do that today. Maybe I have a few meetings. So I'm going to go to my Tasks tab, and I'm going to log a task for myself. And I'll give myself a couple days to get that completed, and I'll go ahead and add that task. Now, I'll be prompted to make sure that I reach out and thank them for that gift. And because I have the mobile app installed on my phone, I'll even get a push notification right on my phone. Hopefully, this has been helpful, giving you a quick overview of some of the things that you can experience when using Virtuous as a donor development rep. Of course, there's much more. So be sure to check out some of the other resources on our website and reach out to our team and schedule a complete demo to learn more. Thanks.